the Cape. One holds the heart, one opens the gate. Stories of streamers, life behind the glow, mental health, hustle, and learning as we go. Two paths meet in a world we create. One keeps it grounded, one celebrates. This is the compass and the cape, where real meets raw. We laugh, we lift, we learn from the fall. From stream talk to soul talk, we won't fake. Come get real with the compass and the cape. It's okay to pause, to heal, to relate. It's time to tune into the compass and the cape.
Hey, hey! Welcome back, guys. This is episode 4 of The Compass and the Cape.
Guys, welcome in.
I hope you all have had a great week. Today's episode will touch on grief, identity, and the mental health journey many men silently endure. We'll be speaking about personal loss, mental health, and struggles and vulnerability. If you're navigating any of these, we invite you to take what resonates and leave the rest.
Behind every VTuber avatar is a real human heart, and that heart today is Bert's. He's kind, creative, and walking a path of healing.
So, without further ado, we're going to head up to the tree and have our calm moment with Bert's. Hey, we made it!
Hey, we're in the tree. Welcome to my tree house. Welcome, Bert's, to my tree house. Good to
Hello.
have everybody here. Say hi, Bert.
Hi, everyone.
Hey. So, Bert, in your story with streaming and your mental health struggles and things, would you be comfortable sharing your story or a little bit about your story about your brother and how that shaped your life and also how that shapes your streaming life today?
Yeah, definitely. I guess it was probably 5 years ago. It was the day before our 35th birthday. We had unexpectedly lost, my brother, and losing a twin is. I don't want to like downplay losing a family member, but losing a twin is just it's devastating. It's more. It feels like losing your limbs too. It's part of your identity, and I was really lost at that time. I was really in a dark place, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know where to go, who to talk to, because I just felt like nobody understood. Um, and maybe a year later, I had come across Twitch, just like looking at someone playing a game that I was interested in, and he was very welcoming. His name was Nam Zombie, and I'm still friends with him to this day. But he actually inspired me to start streaming. And yeah, I mean, it's now 4 years later, and I'm still streaming. I love it. It's really helped me cope with the loss of my brother because I'm surrounded by just so many like genuinely nice, caring people, and I get to do what I love, playing video games, which reminds me of him too. And yeah,
Y'all played video games a lot together. That kind of reminds me of Hero and her siblings. She did that a lot. It was a bonding thing for her and her siblings, right? Wasn't it, Hero?
Yeah. It's gaming has always been how we come together, and I think it's always been like that ever since we were just growing up. We could literally argue about something, and then just an hour later, we're hanging out, laughing, and playing a video game. and it was always, and we all live far apart now, and it's a way for us to just jump on, and we could be playing any game, but just, a way for us to kind of catch up and connect. So very sentimental for me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Um, Bert, what has grief looked like for you? Um, Grief, a lot of people handle grief in different ways and shows up in people's lives, looks different to different people. What's one way that you feel like that it has looked like for you or shown up in your life since losing your brother?
Um,
Or if there's any unexpected turns or things about grief that you've saw or learned that people don't usually talk about?
I don't think people talk about it enough. Like you're never ready for something like that to happen to you, no matter how much you've seen it, no matter how
Right.
much you've dealt with it or worked with it. It's just when it happens to you personally, it just hits you like a ton of bricks. And I honestly, I was so lost, and I just kind of like secluded myself because I didn't think anyone else really knew what I was going through, even though people go through that every day. And it's something I still deal with to this day. But I think now, 5 years later, even though I still miss them and stuff, I can cope with it. I can deal with it now without being like totally destroyed mentally.
Yeah, I don't think the grief ever really goes away. It's like you just kind of learn to navigate life in a different way than you did before, I think.
Yeah, I can agree with that because I mean, literally everything I did for that 35 years I known him was me and him, and anything that happened to me and vice versa, we told each other. And losing that best friend of your entire life is just it's devastating. I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah, it's for real, for real. Uh, do you remember when you lost your brother, what your support system looked like, or what it didn't look like before you
Um,
started streaming?
so when that happened, I am living in Arizona, so and he was in Illinois, and so I was far away, and I got a phone call in the middle of the night basically letting me know what happened. And I just immediately like threw my stuff together and got the first flight out there. And of course all my family's out there, so they're very supportive. But coming back, it's kind of like that support, I'm leaving that support system behind, and I'm having to navigate life on my own. So I don't know. I kind of had to figure out how to deal with it.
So I guess you went through not only on top of feeling lonely because you lost your twin, but also because when you had to come back home, when you come back to your home in Arizona, you had to kind of be without your family and stuff right there in the vicinity to help with that. So is that kind of where streaming come into play when you started streaming a little after that?
Yeah, I didn't know how like mentally healing to me streaming would be until like a year or two after starting, just because like I started it at first just as a hobby to occupy my mind and to have fun and just play games. But I mean, after meeting so many people uh through streaming, it's been life changing. Like just the people that I've been surrounded with are so caring and come from so many different avenues of life with different experiences that it's just it's helped me way beyond more than I would have ever imagined.
I guess in a way, you being away from your family after losing your brother, streaming you kind of made your own family, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that. Just being able to see them every day and saying hi and just nothing but kind words, and it's 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 definitely a breath of fresh air.
Did you start to notice that your mental health was something that you needed to pay attention to um, after losing your brother? Was it something? Was it like one of those things that it just kind of hit you, or was it a gradual like, oh, I'm actually having a hard time? What what was it that how that came about when you started paying attention to that?
Um, I think I realized it after, I don't know, after maybe healing a bit on my own,
Hmm.
thinking to myself that, maybe I probably still could use a therapist or, some sort of help in that department. It was very difficult to figure it out, but I think now knowing what I do now, um, I could have probably greatly benefited from having that, like, professional help or, at least people to talk to.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, well, that kind of moves us in the direction. And one of the reasons why have been really excited to and happy that you wanted to talk about this and do this is because uh, something that I really care about that a lot of people don't seem to think about a lot is men's mental health and how men struggle with their mental health because uh, I'm sure you have come up with the same ideas that a lot of men have been had put on them for as long as they can remember that, being a man and having mental health struggles or mental health issues or dealing with anything like grief or depression is just, oh, suck it up, be a man. Or like if you admit that you're having a hard time, that it somehow affects your manliness or your masculinity. And so many men suffer in silence for so long because they're afraid or they're ashamed to say anything. Is that something that you have had to deal with? Like, have you ever felt shame or fear about opening up either online or offline with people about your struggles with grief?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much nailed it on the head. Just that expectation, or that, you know, just, yeah, the expectation that you have to suck it up and you have to take care of things and get it done because, you know, no one's going to care because you're a man. You're supposed to fix things. You're you're the provider. You need to uh you just need to do it, and so for a long time, maybe like a year or so, um I did that. I just kind of kept it inside and didn't say anything, and I was really under a rock and shelled and just kept it inside and didn't tell anyone. And I think that may have hurt me more by
Mm.
doing that. But I mean, that's all I really knew.
So, what are some ways that you wish people would show up for, for you, for other men who are struggling with the same kind of thing?
I mean, I guess it depends on the situation. Like, if you know that somebody, even a man or woman, has gone through something, like, even just messaging them or calling them and just asking how they're doing, like, that might be all it takes, is just to ask them because they're too afraid to ask for help. Or even just saying hi or just making your presence known that you're there. It makes a world of difference. Um, it can be the difference between, if they want to keep surviving or not,
Mm.
to put it lightly. Because you don't really know what people are actually going through unless they tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So, do you think you're that in the beginning that your grief showed up in your content at all, or do you think you were able to hide it?
I think because I had started streaming like roughly a year after that happened, I was better at hiding it.
Mm.
Um, I was even eventually more open about it. Like what I used to have on my stream at the stream ending scene was just like in loving memory, and I had a picture of my brother and me. And that was the end of my stream for a long time.
Oh, so
I
you were
think now
pretty
that
open about it in the beginning then, weren't you?
I did, yeah, as eventually when I started to get to know people and
Yeah.
understand the Twitch community and how welcoming they are, then yeah, it was a lot easier to be open about it.
So, do you I know a lot of streamers and content creators sometimes they feel like they have this pressure that they always have to be on. You know what I mean? Do you do you feel that same pressure that you have to always be on all the time?
To be on as in like streaming.
Yeah, like a certain persona or a certain personality or whatever you feel like you have to put forward for your community or for what other people see.
Um, I don't think me personally, I've run across that um, because I'm just comfortable being me on stream, and you get me whether you like it or not.
I love
Mhm.
Um,
that so much. I
I
love
think
that.
I
Like,
th
you get me. Yeah, because, that's, that's how it should be, really, is like, because if you're not trying to be something and you're not, or you're being genuine from the beginning, then it makes the pressure of, or the thought of having to always be on or whatever, um, it's not really a thing that you have to deal with. I know a lot of creators deal with that, but if you can just embrace yourself and how you are and be like, "Hey, this is me. This is what I'm dealing with, and if it's for you, it's for you, and if it's not, it's not." I think that's one of the things I love about you is because you are so genuine, and I love that you said that.
oh, thank you.
That's great. I love
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I think it's more of a struggle for people that try to put on a performance because
Yeah.
then you're setting that expectation to perform. But I mean, people honestly, they show up to your stream for you. I mean, you could be, if you're doing it right, you could be playing any game and they'll show up and say
Yep.
hi and
Yeah.
talk and everything.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people get hung up on what game should I play? What should I do? What should I do? But from what I've seen and with myself and watching other streamers, watching you, watching Hero, is that the people that tend to come back and start building your community or building our individual communities is people that just genuinely like hanging out with you
Mhm.
and are there for you, not necessarily for a specific game. I mean, they may in the beginning show up because they're looking at a specific game that they want to check out, but they can watch all kinds of people playing the game that they're looking for. But what keeps them coming back is um, what's the word I'm looking for, Hero? Help me out.
The
Their
connection?
Yeah,
Impression?
the connection. Thank you, brain fart. I haven't had my ADHD medicine today, guys. So, yeah, that connection, that there's just something that happens when people come into your stream, whether they stay or come back or not, that there's a connection there, and that's why they come back. It's not because of a specific game. And it's also how they feel when they're in your stream, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah, they're definitely feeling out those vibes, but like you'll come across people every now and then that you could honestly be friends with them in real life. Like I've even met up with, multiple streamers that I'd never met in real life before just to go out for dinner or whatever and hang out. And, now we're like actually in real life friends besides just the streaming world. And there's really genuine, amazing people out there. You'll just cross their paths eventually.
Mm-hmm. I know something that I think still that's really unique about your page is this VTuber, this BEEtuber that we're looking at here. So
VTuber.
so tell us about this guy. Like why did you decide to go the VTuber route, and then just the whole persona? Do you feel like it gives you just like a certain space that you need to, or like gives you some kind of escape instead of always having the camera on you? So what was the thought process behind VTubing?
Yeah, well, I didn't really like realize this before, but I think I started because when I very first started streaming, I was using a camera. I think it was easier for me, especially with the mental health I was dealing with. It was just easier to have some sort of an animation up. So I had
Mm,
originally started with a PNG tuber, um, and just had fun with that, and just it was cheap, it was easy, and I didn't have to worry about what I'm looking like, the being a zombie on a camera, or showing showing other emotions besides what I want to be on stream. And
mm,
um I think now that my mental health has been better, I've kind of like accepted the whole VTuber role, and just kind of went with it, and embraced it. But this one's kind of recent actually. I got this in January, so it's only like 4 or 5 months old. But just one day I was like, you know what? I want to up my game. I want to make this better. And I came across an artist through Twitch actually, and we got together and she made it. The design was based on the emotes I had originally been commissioned like years before that, so I just basically handed that over for inspiration, and this is what was created. So I'm like super happy with it, and I hope to expand on it more and just kind of embrace that VTuber vibe.
yeah, it looks really
Yeah,
cool.
for those of you who are just listening and you're not watching, Bert's VTuber is just the cutest little bee with the cartoon bee with the sweetest looking face and these little antennas on top. And then, like, behind him, he has like this huge enchanted forest scene that looks like a druid elf or something could come walking out of at any moment. And he's just absolutely adorable. He's actually Bert's your tuber is actually one of my most favorites that I have seen out of all the VTubers so far that I've seen on Twitch. I love him
Oh,
so
thank
much.
you.
Yeah, it's so well
He's
done.
so adorable.
I love
Yeah, I
when
really
Like,
wanted to lean away from that.
maybe one day
Oh,
you could
sorry.
think about making him into a plushie and, like, selling him in your merch
oh
store or something.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, that's such a good
Everybody could
idea.
have their own little
Yeah.
Bert. I
Oh,
so
that's
I
would.
so
am
I
gonna
would
good.
write
put
that
him on
down.
my list.
Yeah.
Yep,
Oh, that would be great. And then you can
I would
do,
definitely put him in there.
yeah, he could even do the you know how you made him like a little Bob Ross and stuff, bro? Like you could do like
Oh
different
gosh,
kinds. Yeah.
oh,
Like little attachable dress
Yeah.
up things.
yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
so cool.
for those who don't know, there was one episode or stream that Bert's did where he made his little bee look like a bee version of Bob Ross,
It
and it
was
was
so good.
just God, it was so adorable. I loved that stream. That was so adorable. I would totally put Bert's Bob Ross on my desk above my computer. Absolutely. We need to make
I'll
this
have to look
happen.
into that.
I would totally buy one. Totally buy one. So, Bert, if you could go back and talk to yourself in your hardest moments after losing your brother, what would you say to yourself? What would you tell yourself?
Oh, I don't know. I think I would just tell myself that it's okay to hurt. It's okay. It's normal to feel what I'm feeling, and to just to be okay with looking for help, to be okay with speaking about it, because that journey of grief that I'm still pretty much going through is it was so much harder by myself, and I
Mm.
wish I could have found the support that I have now, and just this whole streaming world, and just surrounding myself with love like that. It's helped tremendously.
So, would you say that what's helped you most in your healing would be creativity and community? I guess you could say.
Yeah, that too. I'd say mostly just, I mean, just being open about it. Like, we touched on this earlier. Just there's this idea that men have to just deal with it and do it on their own, and that's totally not the case. It's something that should be shared and communicated and talked about and cried over, and whatever you need to do to help you to help you deal with it. That's it's okay. Like, you should do that.
That pretty much answers the next question I had for you, which was going to be, uh, what would be something you would want other men to know, especially men who are dealing with grieving or struggling pretty much? I think you just answered it. That's a
Yeah,
very good
yeah,
answer.
definitely talk about it. You don't have to do it on your own. You can, but it hurts a lot more if you don't, you know.
Right. Bert, I think that you are an absolutely amazing person, and I think that you have overcame so much and you are so strong, and I'm so appreciative of you coming and doing this podcast with us today and giving us a little look behind the BEEtuber and letting us get to know you a little better, and also giving your story and sharing a bit of it and encouragement to other men in the streaming and content creation community, uh, to help give them a voice and let them know that it's okay to speak out and it's okay to say something, and it doesn't lessen your masculinity and it doesn't make you weak, and that it's okay. And I appreciate that so much, and I know Hero does too. And I just I appreciate that so much. And I would invite you, Berts, to share where people can find you if they decide after hearing this podcast, hey, I like this Berts guy. I like this bee. I'd like to check him out. Where can I find you?
Mostly on Twitch, so twitch.tv/BertzBees with Z's, so BERTZ_BEEZ. I'm also on TikTok too. I think it has a 22 at the end. It's the same thing, but if you look up Burt's Bees, you should be able to find it on TikTok as well. Those are pretty much my main outlets.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I hope you guys check Bert out and look him up. And we hope that you love him just as much as we do. And as for the final thought, guys, healing isn't linear and it doesn't have to be loud. And as Bert shows us, even bees carry heavy hearts and they still find their way to the flowers.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. See? They still find their way to the flowers.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna let you get on with the rest of your workday.
All right,
Yes.
cool.
Thank you, Bert, so much for taking the time out to do this with us. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm so happy, and I feel really good about everything that you had to say and about your story,
Yeah,
especially for other men who may be struggling too. I really think that it will help someone for sure.
Yeah, I hope so.
Sure will.
Um, yeah, let me know I really want to hear this. Like, I'm never done a podcast before, so I'm like really curious what this is gonna sound like.
Oh
And I
yeah.
still gotta update my Discord too.
Okay.
Yeah,
What
I
I'll do
like it.
is when we after I finish editing, um I'll let you know, and then I'll make sure that you get the link too, so you can share it on your Discord and all that good stuff. And I'll make sure to add your
Okay.
handles to the descriptions for the Spotify and the YouTube also, so that people can know where to find you.
And I'm seriously gonna look into figuring out a way to make the bee plushies. That
That
sounds
Seriously.
would
like a
be
genius
amazing.
idea.
Yeah, you should
See,
do it.
I have the best ideas.
You
I can't
should do
believe I
it.
never thought of that. Like,
Bro, you should do it. I'll be the first to buy one.
Heck yeah, you could do like all different kind of like themed stickers and stuff. Like t-shirts,
Mhm.
brother, like the list goes on, dude.
Oh
well,
yeah.
I've thought about like T-shirts with my bee on it and whatever, but like I just never got around to it because it seems so cliche. But like a stuffy, like a desk stuffy, like a computer desk stuffy
Yeah.
or something, like that would be just genius. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Thank you. Do you hear that? Jesus just called me a genius. Nobody could get a better compliment ever in the
From
universe.
Jesus.
Get a genius. Thank you, Jesus.
All right, sweet. Well, Berts, don't let us keep you if you got to go back to work now, because we will.
Okay, I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay.
Bye, Bert.
Bye, Berts.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us on episode 4 of The Compass and the Cape, and for just hanging out with us while we've been able to really get a chance to interview such a great streamer.
Yeah, we love Bert so much, and we love his story, and we hope you appreciate him as much as we do. And we thank you for tuning in to episode 4. Hope you tune in for the upcoming episode 5. And please remember to follow us on Discord and also TikTok, and find us on YouTube and Spotify for our podcast episodes.
Absolutely. And if you don't already follow the YouTube or the Spotify channels, please do so. Leave a review, share it with your friends. We're always excited to get comments and just see you guys chatting about it. It's really exciting for us, and we really appreciate all the love and support. And with all that being said, we will see you in the next one. See you later.
Bye, guys.